Before today's story truly begins, pause for just one moment. If you enjoy stories that unfold slowly, stories that explore love, secrets, and the quiet choices that change everything, then take a second and hit that subscribe button. It might feel small to you, but to this channel, it means everything. Your support keeps these deeply emotional, soul-stirring stories alive. Stories about real people, real emotions, and moments that don't fade when the video ends. So thank you for being here. Now let's begin. Daniel Evans was a man who trusted routine more than instinct. Every morning followed the same quiet rhythm, like a song he'd memorized years ago and never bothered to change. The alarm rang at exactly 6:15 a.m. Not 6:14. Not 6:16. He rose without snoozing, feet touching the cold floor before his mind fully woke up. Shower first. Coffee second. 2 teaspoons of sugar always exact. 10 push-ups. 15 sit-ups. A stretch to ease the stiffness from shoulders that carried more stress than they used to. Then came his favorite moment. Standing in front of the bathroom mirror, tie in hand, studying his reflection like he was checking in with an old acquaintance. He inhaled slowly, straightened his posture, and whispered silently to himself. Another day, Daniel. Just another day. Routine gave him control. And control made life feel manageable. But this morning something was different. From the moment his eyes opened, a strange weight pressed against his chest. Not pain. Not fear. Just a quiet heaviness. Like the universe was holding its breath. He sat on the edge of the bed longer than usual, rubbing his palms together as if warmth alone could chase the feeling away. Probably just bad sleep, he told himself. But deep down he knew better. Because today wasn't just any day. Today marked 7 years of marriage. 7 years with Emily. 7 years of shared mornings and late-night conversations. 7 years of laughter that came easily in the beginning, and more cautiously later on. 7 years of arguments that didn't always end cleanly. 7 years of forgiveness that sometimes felt heavier than anger. Anniversaries had a way of forcing reflection, whether you wanted it or not. Daniel buttoned his shirt when he felt arms slide gently around his waist. Emily. Her touch was familiar, comforting. But today there was something else in it, something fragile, almost hesitant. Happy anniversary, she whispered, her voice warm against his back. Daniel smiled instinctively. But as he turned to face her, a knot tightened in his stomach. She kissed him. Not the quick, routine kiss of two people rushing into the day, but a slow, lingering one. The kind that carried unspoken meaning. When she pulled away, he noticed her eyes. They sparkled, but behind the light was a shadow. A secret. Emily wasn't nervous by nature. Which meant whatever this was, it mattered. And then there was Clara Carter, Emily's younger sister. Where Emily was calm, Clara was chaos. Where Emily planned, Clara leaped. She was unpredictable, magnetic, a storm disguised as sunshine. The night before, Clara had shown up at their apartment without warning. No call. No text. Just appeared like she belonged there, which in her mind she always did. She paced the living room with that familiar smirk. The one she wore when she knew something no one else did. Just before leaving, she leaned in close to Daniel. Too close. Don't be late tomorrow, she whispered. You'll regret it if you are. Then she walked out. No explanation. No context. At the time, Daniel laughed it off. But now, those words echoed louder than anything else at by 9 a.m. Daniel sat at his desk in a downtown Seattle marketing firm, but his mind was nowhere near work. Emails blurred. Numbers lost meaning. Office chatter felt distant, like he was underwater. Jared, his coworker, nudged him. You okay, man? You look like you're waiting for bad news. Daniel forced a smile. Just tired. But it wasn't exhaustion. It was anticipation. By mid-afternoon, his pen tapped so aggressively against the desk that nearby interns exchanged nervous glances. Anniversaries had a cruel habit of pulling memories out of hiding. He remembered their first anniversary. Burnt garlic bread, sticky pasta, laughter so loud it drowned out disappointment. Back then love felt effortless. Now love felt careful. At 6:30 p.m., Daniel made a decision he almost never made. He left work early. Seattle rain streaked across his windshield as he drove home. City lights melting into watercolor blurs. Usually rain calmed him. Tonight, it suffocated him. When he parked and stepped into the garage, he felt it again, that shift in the air. The stillness before something breaks. The apartment door clicked open. Candlelight. Music drifted softly through the space. Nostalgic, slow, familiar. Rose petals scattered across the floor. This wasn't decoration. This was intention. Daniel. He turned. Emily stood at the end of the hallway, bathed in golden light. She wore a navy blue dress he'd never seen before. Simple, elegant, breathtaking. But it was her expression that stopped him. Fear. Love. Resolve. Sadness. Then Clara stepped into view. No smirk this time. Just a calm, steady presence. Emily whispered, "Happy anniversary." And Daniel knew. This wasn't a celebration. This was a reckoning that Emily's hands trembled as she reached for his. "I love you," she said. "But love alone isn't enough if we're both pretending." Silence filled the room. She spoke of the distance. The quiet loneliness. The version of themselves they'd lost trying to stay comfortable. Tears fell. Not from anger, but honesty. Clara didn't interrupt. She just watched, grounding the moment. Emily inhaled deeply. "I don't want to lose you," she said. "But I refuse to keep losing myself." Daniel felt something crack inside him. Not painfully, but honestly. For the first time in years, routine couldn't protect him. Only choice could. They didn't solve everything that night. But they told the truth. And sometimes truth is the bravest form of love. 7 years had taught them how to survive. That night would teach them how to begin again. Some love stories don't end. They evolve. If this story moved you, if it reminded you of someone you love, or once loved, then stay with this channel. More stories are coming. And some of them might feel uncomfortably close to home.